Imagine opening your eyes each morning, not to a surge of worry, but to a quiet sense of purpose. Instead of feeling immediately overwhelmed by tasks, expectations, and the weight of uncertainty, you rise with a gentle presence, calm, grounded, and open to the unfolding day. Your heart beats steadily, your breath flows freely, and even when challenges appear, you're not paralyzed by fear or tangled in spirals of overthinking. You're present, capable, clear. For so many, anxiety feels like an inescapable shadow, a constant background noise in the mind, a tightness in the chest, a restlessness in the soul. It colors our relationships, drains our energy, and interrupts our joy. But what if anxiety isn't just an enemy to be conquered? What if it's a message, an invitation to go deeper, to understand ourselves more fully, and to awaken a part of us that we've long ignored? Beneath the noise of anxiety lies a hidden path, one that leads not only to relief, but to transformation. Today, we're going to walk that path together. We'll explore 7 profound and practical methods to help you reconnect with your inner stillness, cultivate resilience, and rewrite the way you experience anxiety, not as a life sentence, but as a doorway to freedom. These aren't surface-level tricks or temporary distractions. First, the flow method, moving through anxiety with gentle awareness. Anxiety tends to feel like a tightening, a closing in. But what if instead of bracing against it, we learned how to move with it? The flow technique offers a gentle, 4-step process to help anxiety pass through like a stream rather than settle like a storm. Flow stands for feel, listen, open, and welcome. Feel. Begin by tuning in to what's happening inside your body, without trying to name or fix anything. Is your chest opening? Isn't about liking the feeling. It's about loosening the grip. Give the emotion space to breathe and move. Welcome. Instead of pushing the anxiety away, try greeting it as a temporary visitor. Say, I see you. You're part of my experience right now, and that's okay. This radical welcoming dissolves inner resistance and helps the emotion flow through naturally. The flow method teaches us that peace isn't the absence of anxiety. It's the ability to stay open and kind even in its presence. When we stop resisting the current, we find we can float through what once felt impossible. Second, tide breathing. Calming your inner waves. Just as the ocean never holds its breath, neither should we. Our breath, like the sea, is meant to move in waves, steady, gentle, alive. Tide breathing invites you to return to this natural rhythm and create a peaceful inner coastline where anxiety can dissolve. The acronym stands for tune, inhale, drift, exhale. Tune. Begin by tuning into your breath without trying to change it. Sit or lie down comfortably. Notice its texture. Is it shallow, fast-held? Simply observe like you're listening to the ocean from the shore. Inhale, 4 counts. Now take a slow inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Imagine the tide rising toward the shore, bringing in calm, clarity, and strength. Drift, 6 counts. Gently hold your breath at the top for a count of 6. Picture yourself floating on calm water, held by something greater, supported by stillness. Exhale, 7 counts. Release the breath slowly through your mouth for a count of 7. Imagine the tide flowing back out to sea, carrying tension, worry, and tightness with it. Repeat this cycle for 5 to 7 rounds, allowing each breath to guide you deeper into calm. As you do, visualize yourself resting on a tranquil shoreline, grounded, present, and unshaken. Why it works. This breath pattern activates the parasympathetic nervous system, gently shifting you from a state of survival to a state of safety. Tide flowing back out to sea, carrying tension, worry, and tightness with it. Repeat this cycle for 5 to 7 rounds, allowing each breath to guide you deeper into calm. As you do, visualize yourself resting on a tranquil shoreline, grounded, present, and unshaken. Why it works. This breath pattern activates the parasympathetic nervous system, gently shifting you from a state of survival to a state of safety. By practicing it regularly, you teach your body how to ride the waves of emotion with grace rather than resistance. Third, the root method. grounding yourself like a tree. When anxiety lifts you out of your body and into spirals of thought, what you need is not escape, but anchoring. The root method helps you reconnect with your senses and your center, using nature's wisdom as a guide. Root stands for relax, observe, open, touch. R, relax your posture. Start by pausing and softening your body. Unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, feel your feet connect with the ground. Breathe into the space you take up. You're here. Let your body know it's okay to let go. Oh, observe your environment. Slowly scan your surroundings with your eyes. Pick out 3 things that you hadn't noticed before: a shadow, a texture, the way light hits an object. Let your gaze settle gently. This is not a task, it's a return. O, open your senses one by one. Listen closely. What's the farthest sound you can hear? The nearest. Take a slow breath. What can you smell in the air, no matter how faint? Let your body feel the temperature, the surface beneath you, the air on your skin. This openness to sensation brings you back into your body. T, touch something grounding. Reach for a nearby object, a rock, a fabric, the edge of a table. Focus entirely on how it feels. Let its texture, weight, and shape anchor you. You can even press your hand to your chest or stomach and whisper, "I'm here, I'm safe." Why it works. The root method is like planting your mental and emotional feet into the earth. Instead of being swept away by anxious thoughts, you shift into embodied presence, where anxiety loses its momentum. Repeat as needed until you feel more centered. Like a tree swaying in the wind, you remain rooted no matter what thoughts pass through the sky above. If this message resonates with you, and you're seeking more moments of peace and insight, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for daily reflections rooted in ancient wisdom and modern clarity. 4th, seeing thoughts clearly. The art of thought diffusion. The human mind is a brilliant storyteller, so brilliant, in fact, that it can convince us we're in danger, even when we're perfectly safe. It spins vivid tales of worst-case scenarios, replays past regrets like endless reruns, and predicts disasters with the confidence of a weather forecast. And the more we believe these stories without question, the more power anxiety gains over us. But what if your thoughts aren't truths? What if they're just mental weather, temporary patterns passing through a much vaster sky? That's where thought diffusion comes in. Rather than fighting your thoughts or getting tangled in them, diffusion invites you to observe them, label them, and let them pass, like clouds across an open sky. The observer practice. Shifting from participant to witness. Imagine you're no longer the character in the storm, but the scientist in the lab, calmly studying an internal process. When anxious thoughts arise. I'm going to fail. Everyone will judge me. Something bad is coming. You take a breath and say, "How interesting. My mind is telling me the story that I'm not safe." That one shift, from "this is true" to "this is just a thought," creates immediate space. You are not your anxiety. You are the one observing it. The clouds exercise. Becoming the sky, close your eyes and picture a wide, open sky. Across it float clouds, some light and fleeting, others heavy and dark. Each cloud is a thought, a memory, a worry. Watch them come. Watch them go. They are not permanent. They are not you. You are the sky. You don't fight the clouds. You don't chase them away. You simply remain, vast, untouched, and free. Thought, labeling. Naming to tame. Instead of being swept up by every thought, start naming them. This disrupts their automatic power. When you notice a mental loop, pause and label. Worrying, planning, catastrophizing, remembering, judging. By giving the thought a name, you stop identifying with its story. It's not your truth, it's just a passing event in the mind. Why it works? Thought diffusion pulls you out of the emotional quicksand of identification. It reminds you that you are the awareness behind the thoughts, not the anxious chatter itself. When you stop clinging to every mental narrative, anxiety begins to dissolve, not through force, but through freedom. With practice, This becomes one of the most liberating tools for living with clarity, presence, and peace, especially in moments where the mind feels loud and overwhelming. Fifth, progressive muscle release. Unwinding deep-rooted physical tension. Anxiety is not just a mental experience, it has a powerful physical presence. Often, it quietly settles into our bodies, manifesting as tight jaws, stiff shoulders, or a knotted stomach. These subtle tensions can persist beneath our awareness, like a constant undercurrent of stress that drains our energy and keeps us on edge. Progressive muscle release is a simple yet profound practice designed to help you reconnect with your body, identify hidden tension, and consciously let it go. This technique guides you through a deliberate cycle of tightening and then releasing muscles, helping your nervous system recognize the difference between stress and ease. Over time, this practice trains your body to naturally unwind and relax, even in moments of anxiety. How to practice progressive muscle release. Begin by finding a quiet, comfortable place where you can sit or lie down without interruption. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and take a few grounding breaths to settle into the present moment. Now, starting from the very tips of your toes, gently tense the muscles in that area, curl your toes tightly, and hold the tension firmly for about 5 seconds. Feel the build-up of pressure, the fullness of the contraction. Then release suddenly and completely. Let the muscles go limp and soft. Notice the rush of relief that follows the release, the sensation of space and lightness where tension once lived. Take a moment, about 10 to 15 seconds, to fully experience this difference. Feel the soothing wave of relaxation spreading through that part of your body. Move slowly and mindfully upward through your body, repeating this cycle for each major muscle group. Feet and calves, thighs and hips, lower back and abdomen, chest and upper back, shoulders and arms, hands and fingers, neck and jaw, face and forehead. Pay special attention to common anxiety, hotspots. Jaw. Many people unknowingly clench their jaw throughout the day. When you release this tension, you might feel a surprising sense of freedom and ease in your face and head. Shoulders. These carry the weight of stress, literally and figuratively. Letting go here can feel like dropping a heavy load you've been carrying without realizing it. Stomach. The gut is deeply connected to our emotional state. Relaxing this area often calms the nervous system and soothes anxiety's physical grip. Why progressive muscle release works? Anxiety often triggers a chronic state of muscle tension, part of the body's fight or flight response, keeping us in a heightened state of alertness. By consciously tensing and releasing muscles, you send a clear message to your nervous system that it's safe to relax. This practice helps break the cycle of tension and anxiety, restoring balance and ease. Regularly practicing progressive muscle release not only alleviates immediate physical discomfort, but also builds long-term resilience. It trains your body and mind to recognize relaxation as a natural and accessible state, one that you can return to whenever anxiety begins to creep in. Sixth, the anxiety conversation, dialoguing with your inner alarm system. What if anxiety isn't your enemy, but a misunderstood ally? Beneath the racing heart, the spiraling thoughts, and the uneasy tension is a part of you that's simply trying to protect you. Anxiety is like an overprotective friend, loud, persistent, and often misguided, but acting out of care, not cruelty. The problem is that this inner alarm system often mistakes discomfort for danger and uncertainty for threat. Instead of trying to silence or suppress this voice, what if you opened a compassionate dialogue with it? The anxiety conversation is a powerful, grounding technique that allows you to engage your anxious thoughts with mindfulness and maturity. It helps you create space between you and your anxiety so that you can respond from wisdom, not fear. Step 1. Acknowledge anxiety's presence. Start by gently naming what's happening. Hello, anxiety. I see you're here again. This simple acknowledgement immediately softens resistance. You're not pushing it away or pretending it's not there. You're recognizing its presence with awareness and respect. Step 2. Thank it for trying to help. Anxiety is trying to protect you, even if it's doing so ineffectively. By thanking it, you reduce the internal war. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I know you're looking out for me. This transforms the dynamic from adversarial to cooperative. You begin to recognize anxiety not as a threat, but as a signal. Step 3. Gently inquire. Now that you've disarmed it with acknowledgement and gratitude, ask your anxiety what it's worried about. What are you trying to warn me about right now? What part of me feels unsafe or unsure? Treat it like a frightened child needing to be heard, not corrected. Often behind anxiety is a part of you that simply wants reassurance or clarity. Step 4. Assess the actual threat level. This is where your rational mind steps in. Ask yourself, is this danger real? Respond wisely. You're not dismissing anxiety, you're reassuring it with truth. Over time, this builds inner trust and calms the reactive parts of your brain. Why it works. This practice shifts your relationship with anxiety from resistance to partnership. When you treat anxiety like a messenger instead of a monster, its grip weakens. It no longer has to scream to be heard because you're already listening, with clarity, compassion, and leadership. Anxiety doesn't want to destroy you. It wants to protect you, but it needs your guidance. Through this inner conversation, you remind yourself who's in charge and gently teach your nervous system how to respond with courage instead of panic. 7th, creating micro-sanctuaries, building calm into your day. Prevention is often more effective than intervention. By creating small moments of peace throughout your day, you build resilience against anxiety's onset. Morning ritual. Start each day with 5 minutes of intentional calm, whether it's gentle stretching, mindful coffee drinking, or simply sitting quietly. Transition. Breathing. Before entering new environments, meetings, social gatherings, challenging conversations, take 3 conscious breaths to center yourself. Evening review. End each day by acknowledging 3 things that went well, no matter how small. This trains your brain to notice positive patterns rather than defaulting to worry. Sensory breaks. Throughout the day, pause to fully experience one of your senses. Really taste your lunch, feel the texture of an object, or listen deeply to ambient sounds. A new relationship with anxiety. Choosing compassion over control. Let's be clear. These practices are not designed to eliminate anxiety altogether. That's neither possible nor even wise. Anxiety, in its natural form, is a messenger, not a malfunction. It's the inner signal that helps us prepare for challenges, avoid danger, and rise to the demands of life. It's part of our evolutionary intelligence, an emotional guardian that, when in balance, can help us survive, grow, and thrive. The goal, then, is not to get rid of anxiety, but to reshape our relationship with it, to meet it not with fear or suppression, but with understanding, to learn how to listen without getting lost, to feel without being swallowed, to respond rather than react. You don't need to master all the techniques at once. Start gently. Choose 1 or 2 that feel most intuitive or comforting to you. Maybe it's the breath, maybe it's thought diffusion, maybe it's grounding through your senses. Whatever you choose, know that it's not about perfection, it's about presence. Consistency, not intensity, is what transforms habits and rewires old patterns. Healing is not a race. There is no finish line to rush toward. It is a quiet unfolding, breath by breath, moment by moment, day by day. Some days will feel spacious and clear. Others may feel murky and difficult. Both are part of the process. Neither means you've failed. And most importantly, you are not broken. You are not weak. You are not behind. You are human. You don't need fixing. You need kindness. You need patience. You need practices that help you return to yourself when the world or your own thoughts try to pull you away. Your anxiety may have been with you for a long time. It may have walked with you through childhood, through trauma, through change, through uncertainty. It has tried to keep you alert, to protect you from pain, to prepare you for life's unpredictability. Yes, it may have been clumsy and overbearing, but it meant well. It still means well. Now, you're simply learning to respond with more skill, more softness, and more sovereignty. As you begin this journey of change, let it be guided not by force, but by gentleness, not by urgency, but by curiosity, not by fear, but by care. Because the peace you're seeking isn't somewhere far off in the distance. It's not in the future, not in a different life, not in a perfect version of you. It's here, right now, in this breath, in your willingness to pause, in your courage to be present, in your ability to meet anxiety not with resistance but with compassionate awareness. You don't have to control everything. You just have to learn how to come home to yourself, again and again. And with time, you'll see, anxiety doesn't have to be your enemy. It can become your teacher, your signal, your invitation to come closer, breathe deeper, and live wiser.